It's actually been a hot minute since the last time I played around in affordable beauty products. So of course, today I got the itch. I went over on the e.l.f. Cosmetics website. I picked up a bunch of stuff that really stood out to me. I also got some stuff in the mail from ColourPop. I have some stuff from Catrice. I have a lot of different things within this box, so let's dive right in.
One step forward, two steps backwards, yeah.
By the way, if you don't follow me over on Instagram, then you may have missed the news, the big chop. I did decide to cut my hair for the summer, and I am taking a break from the hand-tied hair extensions and clip-in hair extensions for summer. I'm really excited for it. Honestly, it was time. It is way too hot and way too humid to have long hair in Florida right now, but that's just my personal preference. Let's jump into the makeup. I do have this primer here by e.l.f. Cosmetics. This is brand new. This is kind of like the Poreless Putty Primer, but in liquid form. On the back, it says it is a hydrating formula that delivers long-lasting makeup grip. You wanna apply it to the skin and then wait about 30 seconds for it to set before going in with makeup. So that's actually good to know. It's supposed to smooth and blur pores. One thing I will say about this is the primer is just kind of spewing out. It's just like oozing out of the packaging. So I don't know if this was the best packaging for this, but it feels very silky and smooth in my hands. I'm just gonna start rubbing and working this into the skin. So it's been about 30 seconds since I put it on, and I will definitely say my skin looks very, very smooth. This primer definitely blurred out all of my pores, and overall it just kind of looks like I have a filter on my skin. I also love that it feels very lightweight. It's not sticky. It's almost like very silky on the skin, if that makes sense. So I'm excited to see what foundation looks like on top of this. For foundation, I will be using this here by Catrice. This is not a brand new launch, but I did recently get this sent to me in PR, so of course, I wanted to revisit it to see if in fact I still love it. This is the True Skin Hydrating Foundation. It has hyaluronic acid and it is a very long wearing formula. The shade I have here is 015 Warm Vanilla. I'm not too sure if this is gonna match me. It honestly looks a little light, and I'm kind of sad about that because I was very interested in trying this out. Actually, the shade doesn't look too bad. I've really been out in the sun a lot lately, which is very big for me because I really am a homebody, but because it's summer, because I have a little boy now, we've been out going to parks, going to the zoo, doing all kinds of things. So I've definitely worked up some natural color from being outside. But this honestly looks really, really good. I love the warmth of this foundation. I also love how much it's covering up all of my pigmentation, like crazy good. I'm just gonna take a little bit more and put it here on my forehead. One thing I will say about this foundation is that I completely forgot that it is more of a matte foundation, but more of a natural matte. It's not overly matte to the point where it makes your skin feel or look dry. Definitely wanna give you guys a side-by-side comparison without foundation, with foundation. The coverage is unreal, like really, really into it. And I can't believe I ever stopped using it because it really is that pretty on the skin. Now that foundation's done, I definitely wanna go in with concealer, but before I do that, I definitely wanna go in with this by e.l.f. I picked this up on their website. It's pretty much a color corrector, but it's a putty color correcting eye brightener infused with squalene and hyaluronic acid. It has illuminating pearls and color correcting tones. It's supposed to be medium coverage, but it is still that putty balm that we all know and love from e.l.f. So let's see what this is all about. I did end up getting the shade medium because I feel like the shade light was completely sold out. In comparison to the foundation, I definitely feel like it is very, very creamy. So I kind of feel like the two aren't really meshing and blending that well together. We'll see how this lays directly underneath of a regular concealer, but right now it's definitely like getting streaky and a little weird underneath the eyes. I wouldn't say it's as brightening as I would like. Like if I want a brightening under eye color corrector, I'll probably go in with the one from Becca. Well, Becca and Smashbox now, but you guys get me. That one brightens like no other. This one's just like, okay, it's not, in my opinion, it's not anything special. Maybe if I take a bigger brush and apply this underneath the eyes, maybe the brush I was using was just like a little too small. I like this one here from Real Techniques because it's super flat. This is the Seamless Complexion Brush. It's a 241, but it just fits really nice underneath the eyes. Yeah, I don't know. This one's not really doing much for me as far as brightening. It's okay. The concealer that I do have, this one here by Catrice. This is the True Skin High Coverage Concealer. I'm only gonna take just like a dot of this on each eye. I'm gonna use this as an eyeshadow base, and then we're gonna kind of come back to concealer. I definitely wanna go in with a little bit of eyeshadow before concealer because I have no idea if the palette that I picked is gonna have a lot of fallout. So I'm just taking precautions so that way I don't completely mess up this look. Okay, so for eyeshadow, I'm gonna use this here by e.l.f. This color story really stood out to me, and I know it's a big shocker to you guys because they do have some more neutral tone eyeshadow palettes on the website that are brand new, but I actually really liked the eye toppers and shimmers within this palette. I felt like they were very different than some of the other eyeshadows that I own in my collection, and I also love that it comes with neutrals as well. So we're gonna dive into the neutrals first, just so that way I can lay down a really nice transitional color. I'm probably gonna take this shade here, which is more of a neutral brown, and I'm just gonna use this in my crease. To be fair, I have really no idea what kind of look I'm gonna create because I'm wearing a blue shirt. I don't wanna go too heavy with the blues. I may just use this one here, which kind of comes off as like a silver blue. I think that'll be really pretty. So far, I'm really impressed with the eyeshadows. Like they're blending really, really nice, which is surprising. I feel like the last time I tried out a palette like this from e.l.f., I wasn't too impressed, but this kind of reminds me of their bite-sized mini eyeshadow palettes where they're like really, really pigmented and very, very easy to blend. Then I'm gonna go in with this warm tone brown, and I'm lightly just gonna start tapping it. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, that was like really pigmented. I was not expecting that. I'm sitting here telling myself that I'm gonna use the blues, but after putting this in the outer V, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to mix the two because this is definitely pulling a little bit more sienna, but we'll see. Now, do not come for me. I had every intention on sitting down and filming with the blues within this palette today, but one thing led to another, and it wasn't happening. It really just was not going in the direction that I thought. So I decided to scrap the look. We're gonna go for something more neutral because I don't wanna scrap the video entirely. I still wanna continue trying out some of the other products that I picked up from e.l.f. and Catrice and also ColourPop. So let's go with this shade here. The shade definitely reminds me of Half Baked by Urban Decay. It's a really pretty bronze shade. And I'm gonna take that and put it all over my eyelid. Ooh, this is really pretty. I really love the bronze color of this eyeshadow, and it's blending really nice onto the lid. This look is definitely looking a lot more smoky than I had anticipated, and I'm also getting a little bit of fallout with this eyeshadow, just in case you guys were curious. I do kind of feel like the shimmer within this palette, it's a little dull. I really wish they would have utilized some of these topper shades and more neutral colors, just so that way things blended a little bit better. All of their topper shades in this palette kind of seem a little bit more colorful, so I'm not entirely sure how I would create a look using those, but I still want to do it. I do want to create a little mini shorts using the blues because I want to challenge myself and see if in fact this palette can be used for neutrals and colors. The next shade I'm going to take is this one here. It's definitely more of a lighter champagne shade, but I'm going to take that and I'm lightly going to dab it into the center of the lid just to draw some light towards the eye. The bronze shade that I put on is definitely really dark, so it kind of darkened up things a little bit. So I'm going to tap it right here closest to the lash line and then lightly blend it upwards. Let's go ahead and move on to liner. I'm gonna take an angled brush and I'm gonna pick up that black, and you guys guessed it, I'm gonna create a wing with an eyeshadow. That's definitely been my go-to. I just really love how soft and smoky this looks, so I'm gonna take that black and push it closest to the lash line. A little tip that I wanna share with you guys is to use a magnifying mirror to do this, because you can get really close and see exactly where you need to place that black. And I just feel like it looks so seamless when I use this mirror. So for lashes, I'm gonna keep things very, very affordable. These are by Kiss. These are the Lash Couture Naked Drama lashes. I really like these. They're very long, very dramatic. They're in the style ruffle, but I think they're so pretty, especially when you're wearing a lot of eye makeup. I do like to cut mine to create more of an accent lash. I just find that it looks that much better on my eyes. So I'm gonna give them a little trim, and then we're gonna pop them on and keep it rolling. A little trick though for keeping your lashes on all day without them lifting is to actually take the glue and line your lower lash line. I know it sounds a little crazy, but I like to take a little bit of that lash glue and pop it closest to the lash line. If I get any on my actual lashes, I'll take a spoolie and I'll just lightly brush it out. If I can find a spoolie. Where'd they go? Where are you? Found one. Not my neighbor mowing his fucking lawn. So I went ahead and took a little mini break while they finished what they were doing outside, but the show must go on. I'm gonna move on to concealer. I'm gonna use this here by Catrice. This is the same concealer as the foundation. This one's also in the same shade, Warm Vanilla. It's a high coverage concealer with hyaluronic acid, and it's also supposed to be waterproof, which is great because I live in Florida, and this is looking a little dark. It looks a little dark. I'm sad. This honestly looks even darker than the foundation, if I'm being honest. As much as I really wanted to use a concealer, it honestly just looks very orange on my skin. So I'm gonna stick to what I know, my tried and true Dior Forever Skin Correct Concealer. This one is in the shade 1.5. Yeah, a million times better. I'm a little sad. I definitely need to pick this up in a lighter color. If you guys have tried it though, let me know down below. Do you love it? Do you hate it? I really wish I could have used it in today's video. I'm just going to buff and blend it out with that same brush. Ooh, this is honestly a really nice brush for concealer. It's like very, very skinny and small, and it fits really nicely underneath the eyes. You know, there's definitely one thing that I've noticed when I use affordable makeup, I really have to finesse the shit out of the products that I'm using. Whenever I'm using high-end makeup products, I don't really have to do that. And it wasn't until I sat down to film today and I looked at the time and how long it was actually taking me to film this video that I realized that with the eyeshadow palette, I just ran into a lot of different issues. I had to take off the eyeshadow and restart again. And usually whenever I use like a high-end palette, it's very easy for me to create a look, whereas affordable palettes, sometimes I feel like they don't really think about the color stories. Like, yeah, the concept of this is really nice, but honestly, for the average person, I feel like it would be really difficult to create an overall eye look using just this alone. So because I am a mom now, I feel like what I look for in makeup products are products that are just very, very easy to use, products that make sense, products that are gonna get the job done in half of the time. Okay, we have concealer on. I definitely wanna go in with some cream products. I have some cream blushes and I also have a cream contour. So let's see what those are all about. I'm finally gonna test out the Halo Glow Beauty Wand by e.l.f. Cosmetics. The shade I have here is light medium. This is very reminiscent of the Charlotte Tilbury contour wand. So let's see if they're worth the hype. Ooh, okay, so the color is a little light. I feel like this is definitely gonna be natural on my skin. I feel like if I go up one shade, it may be a little too dark, so we'll see what happens. I'm also gonna take some here and here to contour. I'm gonna use my Makeup by Mario brush to buff and blend this out. I'm just gonna tap. Okay, so it's definitely blending right into my skin. It's giving me a little bit of warmth, but not too much, which I kind of like because it's definitely more on the natural side. It's not getting patchy at all, and it's blending very easily on my skin. This is insane. I'm so impressed with this contour wand. I almost forgot I did end up getting a brush from e.l.f. Cosmetics. This here is the dual-ended nose contour brush. I was really excited when I saw this specifically for this product because I wanted to be able to put the cream contour on my nose and then use something to buff and blend it out. So I'm gonna use this. Ooh, I kind of like how it comes to a slant. Ooh. One thing I will say is that the bristles are kind of like shedding on my nose, but it's blending out this nose contour so well. Do not let me get good at nose contour. Snatched. I'm gonna take a fluffy brush and I'm lightly gonna tap all over the nose contour. Try not to disturb what we just did, and then I'm gonna go right back into that brush and then just lightly redefine. I didn't really have high hopes for it, but do not walk, run. It is so good. It blended beautifully into my skin. I think I may even need to pick up the medium shade. Another product I picked up from e.l.f.'s website is this blush. This is one of their putty blushes in the shade Bora Bora. This is not a brand new product, but I can't remember if I ever tried out this color. I've really been into bubblegum pink, so I figured let's put this one on and let's put it to the test. I'm gonna use just like a flat foundation brush. This one is by Sephora Collection. It's the number 56 brush, and I'm just going to tap it right here and just buff it into the skin. Okay, these are exactly how I remember them to be. They're not super pigmented right off the bat, but they're definitely buildable. I'm obsessed with that color. I'm also gonna take a little bit here on the apples of my cheeks just for a flush of color. Now, one of the reasons I didn't go in and set my under eyes with powder yet is because I want to be able to go back into this concealer brush and really use it to melt everything together. I did end up getting a powder from the e.l.f. website. I got the Halo Glow Pink powder. This one is in a really pretty light pink shade. Let's see if it gives me that Kylie Jenner-esque under eye. Okay, so this powder, it is very pink. I've never really tried this, so I have no idea what to expect. I'm just gonna use my concealer brush to make sure I have absolutely no creases underneath the eyes. And then I'm gonna go in with the Total Face Sponge Duo, which is also a new pickup from e.l.f. I wanna say I got this for free when I placed an order more than $85 or more than $50, something like that. I'm gonna pick up some of that pink powder and I'm gonna press it and set everything down and in place. Ooh, you guys, this is giving such a pretty soft matte finish, like really pretty veil underneath the eyes. It's not caking up or making my under eye area look dry whatsoever. It's not as pink as I would have liked it to be, but it's getting the job done. I'm also gonna take this powder on the sides of my nose just to kind of further snatch everything in place. And then I'm gonna take this to set my chin and forehead. I did get 2 lip products from e.l.f. I got their lip exfoliator in the scent Coconut. Ooh, okay, yeah, I can definitely feel the sugar scrub. It definitely tastes like coconut. Honestly, this reminds me of like a tropical vacation. This is nice. I definitely feel like this is something I would probably do during my skincare or maybe at night right before I do my makeup. Not something I would necessarily do right before a lip color, so I probably should have did this in the beginning of the video, but so far it's really nice. I'm just gonna wipe it off now. It's also very moisturizing as well, so definitely apply this way before your lip color. I also got the Squeeze Me lip balm. I got this in peach because all of the other shades were sold out, but I don't think that this is gonna add too much color. Ooh, this is really cute though. It smells really good too. Ooh, very hydrating too. This is probably something I'm gonna have to hide from Ulysses because he loves stealing my lip balms. It doesn't really give off too much color, so whatever color you get, I feel like you'll still get the same effects. Just very, very moisturizing on the lips and not sticky. But let's go ahead and take it off. And the reason I'm taking it off is because I do have a couple of the new matte lips. I want to say that these were reformulated by ColourPop. I have a few different shades. I may do a lip swatch video on YouTube Shorts, so stay tuned for that. But I definitely want to do something a little bit different. I kind of like this color here. This one is in the shade So Me. It definitely pulls a little bit more pink. But then I also have colors like this. This is a ultra blotted lip. This one's in the shade Kitten. This one's definitely more of like a fuchsia. I think that'll be really pretty with this look. You know what? I'm gonna go in with the ultra blotted lip. I'm gonna put this all over just because I feel like it's really gonna go well with my blush color and my shirt. I feel like if these blotted lips remind me of anything, they definitely remind me of lip stains because they're not super pigmented, but they add a lot of color to the lips. So I ended up taking off that lip color because while it's pretty, I just feel like it didn't really go with the rest of the look. Like the rest of the look is very done up. It's a little matte, whereas this one, it was like a little shiny on the lips and it was like very sheer. I want something that's gonna take it up a notch. So I'm gonna go in with the ultra matte lip. This one is in the shade So Me. You guys, I'm really obsessed with this color, like obsessed. Then there's this one. This one is in the shade Double Date. Let's just take a little bit of this and put it in the center, because why not? Ooh, this is a really pretty pink. So here's a close-up view of the look. I really love the way that it turned out. It's so pretty. It's full coverage, it's glam, but I feel like it definitely is right up my alley. It's very much me. If I was to do something a little bit more dramatic, this would be it, a neutral eye with more of a neutral type of lip, nothing too crazy, nothing too over the top. While I did really like the ultra blotted lip, I just felt like it didn't really fit the overall style of the look. So I opted for something that was completely matte, and I really love the way it turned out. Some products that I really had to finesse is this palette here by e.l.f. I had really high hopes for this. I did hear some people say that they really liked it, so I decided to pick it up. But the blues within this palette, they're very difficult to work with. You get a crazy amount of fallout, and I just don't feel like this palette in particular is very user-friendly because I don't really feel like the color story really makes much sense. You have your neutrals over here, but then when you get into the blues, it's really hard to blend these colors together, if that makes any sense. So unfortunately, this is a pass for me. I do really like the look I was able to create with it. So if you're okay with using half of the palette, then I say go for it. If not, I feel like e.l.f. has some other amazing eyeshadow palettes within their line. They have their bite-sized mini palettes, and I also want to say they have an all matte palette very similar to this. So check that one out. A product that I really loved, like loved in today's video is this here by e.l.f. This is the Halo Glow Beauty Wand in the shade Light Medium. I was thoroughly impressed. I wasn't really sure how to feel about it because I feel like I watched a couple videos where people said that they were a little underwhelmed and the product was patchy and it didn't really work for them, but I found it to be the complete opposite on me personally. So I definitely want to continue using this, maybe even put it in my everyday makeup bag and pick up another shade to kind of amp things up a little bit. Stay tuned for a future video of me using these products a little bit more. I definitely want to get a lighter shade in the concealer and all that good stuff. Let me know what you guys thought of today's video, and if you guys want to see more like it, let me know down below in the comments. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I'll be sure to catch you guys all on the next one. Deuces.